Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. It's a great day to be alive, and I am so excited about today's topic because if going on a diet, if losing weight is top of mind for you, I want to make sure you avoid this crazy advice that everybody seems to dole out to those of us that have struggled with food and weight. So I want to just kind of round up the troops and make sure you aren't falling into the trap of trying to follow advice that is for the birds. So if you're new to the Heal Your Hunger Show, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm somebody who struggled for years with food and weight. I was 50 pounds overweight. It was a miserable experience. I hated every moment of it. I like to eat, don't get me wrong. I love to eat. I loved my ooey gooey chewy foods and my binge foods in front of the TV, but I didn't like what it did to me. So I'm somebody who tried to diet, tried to follow many different plans, and sure, I do good for a little while, but then I'd bust out in a binge, and it was so demoralizing, my behaviors around food, especially when people would give me the kind of advice I'm going to talk to you about today. So anyway, welcome if you're here at the Heal Your Hunger Show for the first time. I hope you stick around. Please make sure to share the show with your friends. Definitely leave a review. I would certainly appreciate that. And so would the people who are just kind of out there wondering what the hell to do because they know diets aren't going to work for them, but they don't have an alternative. So welcome to Heal Your Hunger Show. Please share it with friends. Let's give them, encouragement to know that they don't have to go that route anymore. I'm really excited also to see you in the Secret Sauce group. So those of us who are in the Secret Sauce group, we know that we get supported there. There's lots of cool tips and inspirational posts and interviews. So don't miss out. Be part of the Secret Sauce group by going to Facebook and typing in the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating. Join us there. We'd love to have you there and continue the conversation that we're going to talk about right now. Hi, friends. Hello. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be talking to you about something really important, especially this time of year, because guess what? In a new year, it's really tempting to go on a diet. It's really tempting to just default to what we know, what we've heard as good, solid diet advice. But chances are, if you are here with Heal Your Hunger, you have been down that road many times, and I want to help you get off that road and just go rogue. Okay, go rogue and blaze a new trail, or come with us in the Heal Your Hunger journey, which doesn't include diets. So it's weight loss without dieting. How does that sound? All right, so I'm going to tell you the 5 pieces of advice that is absolutely for the birds. I don't want you to follow this advice, and I'm going to tell you why. This is going to be short and sweet, but I have to tell you this right now because I've been hanging out with emotional eaters this week in the Quit Sugar Challenge. We had an amazing time together, but I have to say, I shared some information that was very, I think, comforting to the women in the Quit Sugar Challenge. And so I want to share it with you here because that's my job, is to, hopefully comfort you and help you stop beating the crap out of yourself if you can't follow certain kinds of advice that's for the birds. Okay. So, and especially, we especially beat ourselves up when the advice comes from people who are super knowledgeable, super well-read, have a whole bunch of degrees besides their name. Those are the ones who know something. So when they give us this advice and it doesn't work for us, who do we blame? Ourselves. We blame ourselves. And isn't that sad? And the truth is, there are a lot of people out there who are very well-meaning and think they understand how to help us lose weight. But if they aren't emotional eaters and they don't understand emotional eating and the intricacies of what it's like to be an emotional eater and the thoughts we think and the experiences we've had, they cannot give us effective advice that's going to work for us. They're not qualified. I'm sorry, but if you're taking advice from somebody who's never gone out of control of food, never stuffed themselves with donuts and cookies, or never, God forbid, I hope they haven't had this experience, but have never like dug food out of the trash because they binged, threw out the remains, and then went back and got it. Hello, I've done that. For those who haven't done those kinds of demoralizing, shameful, really embarrassing, and just, things that just make your skin crawl and make you hate yourself, if they haven't done that, it's hard for them to understand us. Okay. We emotional eaters, and it's not their fault. Again, they want to help. They want to understand. They want to, be of support to us. Perhaps it's our spouse. Perhaps it's our best girlfriends. But if they haven't done the things we've done with food, it's going to be hard for them to understand. And I just want to say, hey, let's let them off the hook. Let's talk turkey, you and me. Let's talk about what works and what doesn't work. So I'm going to give you the 5 pieces of advice that I feel like is absolutely for the birds. You ready for the first one? Okay. The first one is just moderate. You see that? Just moderate. Yeah. Nice. That's the M word. And the M word doesn't work for people like us. When we're emotional eaters, moderation is for the birds. I couldn't moderate. Once I started eating something sweet, and chewy and yummy and like, oh my God, this is like the best thing I've ever tasted. I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to moderate. Who are we kidding? Moderation is a nice idea, but it's for people who aren't like me, who just eat one and then eat another and can't stop eating. So moderation is a nice idea. It's very nice. Lay people, civilians who haven't, gone to the depths I've gone to with food, maybe that you've gone to with food. It's good advice for others, but not for emotional eaters, because emotional eaters don't have an off switch. Okay, so moderation doesn't work for us. When we start eating, we keep going until we're stuffed or until the item is gone. Okay, I'd eat a little bit of ice cream and then I just go ahead and eat the whole pint. I'd take one like chip out of the bag, one cookie out of the package, and then before you know it, I'd eaten the whole thing. I couldn't stop myself. So the idea of moderation wasn't going to work for me. And people who suggested I moderate didn't understand me. Okay, do you relate? Has this been your experience? Yeah. So forget moderation, forget it. On certain foods, I'm telling you, on certain foods, I had to just say, no, thank you. Like none was better than some. Okay. I was better off not even trying to eat one than I was trying to eat one and then stop. Okay. So if you can't moderate, if you've had that experience time and time again of trying to pull back, pulling the reins on your eating on something that you absolutely love and want to eat more of and might be physically addicted to, that's called sugar addiction. Okay. Carb addiction. If that's you, then stop beating yourself up because you can't moderate. Okay. Let yourself off the hook. Stay away from things that are triggers, and don't think of it as deprivation. Think of it as doing yourself a favor, because guess what? Trying to stop midstream, after you started is really, really hard. It's easier to sidestep the trap altogether. Okay. And obviously there's work to be done to help you say no to those foods. That's work. And that's a conversation for another time, but just know you don't have to beat yourself up just because you can't moderate, and that advice is for the birds. Okay. The second thing that people tell us, well-meaning people, but they don't understand us. They tell us to eat less and exercise more, eat less and exercise more. Nice. Yeah. Like I hadn't thought of that. Thanks, doc. Thanks, pal. Eat less and exercise more. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Never thought of that. Wow. Those emotional eaters, those people who are overweight, they must be stupid. I'm going to help them by telling them to eat less and exercise more. Hey guys, we're not stupid. Okay. We get that we should eat less and exercise more, but we can't. All right. We can't do it. Hence, we are in a fix. We got this problem. And if that's your advice for us, thanks, but no thanks. We're kind of beyond that. All right. We've tried it. We've been on many diets where we eat less. We've joined gyms. We've exercised more. But when we have a compulsion to eat and we can't stop, it doesn't matter how much we exercise. I binged and ate so many calories in a sitting. I couldn't have exercised enough in a day to burn off the calories, that I consumed in a binge, and an out of control, over the top carb and sugar binge. So eat less and exercise more. It's a nice idea. Well-meaning people will tell us as if we haven't thought of it ourselves. Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. But it's not going to work for us. When we're emotional eaters, the eat less and exercise more plan is for the birds. Okay, you ready for number 3? Oh, this is a good one. Oh, eat 5 smaller meals a day. Eats 5 smaller meals a day. Okay, you remember that? That was a big fad in the 90s. Okay. Oh, we figured out the solution. Eat 5 small meals a day. But then all you're doing is you're like going to the kitchen all the time, and you're thinking about food more than ever. Okay. So that doesn't work. I mean, I don't need to eat more. I need to eat less. All right. I need to eat in a way that's sane, that gets me out of the kitchen and gets me stopping the obsession with food. Okay. So eat 5 small meals a day. My experience is those meals, they were not small. Once I started eating, I'd overeat. So I was basically eating 5 regular meals or 5 big meals a day. And I was putting on pounds, before I knew it. So the 5 small meals a day, again, on paper, it might work for some people, especially people who work out a lot. But for me, I needed a different plan. I recommend 3 meal magic, 3 meals with nothing in between, because it's the snacky foods we eat in between. That's what gets us into trouble. That's what puts on, the pounds the fastest, is the snacky foods, the chocolate, the nuts, the chips, all that snacky, carby stuff. So the 5 meal a day plan didn't work for me. I had to go to 3 meals and start living my life in between the meals, feeling my feelings in between the meals, but staying out of the kitchen until it's mealtime. I don't need to be thinking about food more. I need to be thinking about food less, and start living in my own skin and stopping eating all the time, and that helped me start to adjust to my feelings and really acclimate to being with myself, not escaping myself in yet another meal. Okay. Makes sense? Okay. Advice number 4, advice for the birds. Number 4, have a cheat day. Has anybody ever told you this? Have a cheat day. Oh, just have a cheat day once a week. I don't know about you, but my cheat days were not days, they were weeks. So I'd start with one day and then be like, ooh, that was so good. And I'd keep eating, and then before you know it, it was a cheat weekend or a cheat 5 days or 10 days. And so the cheat day idea, people who suggest a cheat day aren't realizing that I needed a better way to live whereby I wasn't craving the cheating foods. Okay. I wasn't craving the sugar. I wasn't craving the processed carbs. I wasn't craving a binge. I needed to address and heal at a deeper level so that I was neutral around food and so that my meals felt good to me. First of all, so I wasn't dieting anymore. I mean, if you eat diet food, you're going to want a cheat day. But if you just eat to nourish your body, you don't need a cheat day because you like your food. You're eating food that feels good and tastes good. And then you're not like sitting there fantasizing about all the foods you're going to eat when you open up to cheat day. Okay. It's kind of like opening up to your window after intermittent fasting. When you hold back, when you deprive yourself, you get all excited about all the things you're going to eat when that window opens up. then you go overboard and then you get hooked on those foods. And then it's really hard to close the window again. It's hard to start a new day and go back to the other way of eating. Have you noticed that? Is that your experience? Okay. So the cheat day idea I find to be kind of ignorant. Okay. The cheat day. We don't want to be where we're craving food, where we're just, storing up our calories to go hog wild. What I want for you is to feel peace around food and to enjoy healthy foods. And if you think that's impossible, I'm telling you it's not. Okay. Foods that might have been considered diet foods like salads and greens, and healthy proteins and fats, healthy fruits in small amounts. I'm telling you, these are things I crave now. These are things my clients love now. They don't need cheat days because they nourish their body with really good foods, but it's foods they actually want to eat. We're used to losing weight from the outside in, where somebody gives us a diet, we follow the diet, but inside we're like, I want my good food, but this has to happen from the inside out, where we clear out the emotions, we deal with our, sense of dis-ease, our sense of just being jammed up with our emotions, with negativity, with fear. We need to clear that stuff out. And then we don't need to run from our feelings with unhealthy foods that we normally eat in a cheat day. Does that make sense? I'm hoping I'm landing for you. I hope this is touching you. No more cheat days. Let's enjoy our food every day, every day. Okay, the last one, I'm going to write it down. The last one is, I ran out of boards. So my last one is, oh gosh, I know people mean well, they mean well, but they don't understand how we feel. They don't understand what's going on inside of us. And they don't understand that this isn't a good long-term plan. Diet advice for the birds, number 5 is this. Distract yourself. Just distract yourself. Go for a run, turn on the TV, read a book. That's their solution for us. And I'm telling you, that only works for so long, right? When you have this, when the tiger has you by the throat, meaning the compulsion to eat, and all you want to do is eat, you can distract yourself for a little time, but the tiger is going to be back. Okay. You can put him to sleep for, an hour, maybe, by going and doing some errands or washing the car, doing the laundry, or calling a friend. But you better have a solution, a deeper solution for slaying, the dragon, killing the tiger, putting the tiger out to pasture. It's really important that we address and heal what causes that compulsion, that driving, gripping compulsion to eat. You can only distract yourself for so long. That tiger is going to wake up again. What I'm proposing and what my experience is and what I teach a very specific system for just really getting that tiger out of your life in whatever way. We don't want to kill the tiger, nice tiger. We're going to put the tiger somewhere else where the tiger's happy and we're happy. Okay. The tiger's at peace and it's in its right environment, and we're at peace in our right environment, and no longer feeling that terrible driving compulsion to eat. That can be healed. That's the good news I shared this week with the women I got to hang out with. It was so great to tell them, yes, you can have that driving compulsion healed, because that compulsion doesn't just happen. The compulsion comes from our emotions, from stress, from buried pain. Okay. When we bury our feelings for so long, we've got a mumble jumble of feelings inside of us, and it grows and grows. That's what becomes the tiger that strangles us, and forces us to eat for relief. So you can have relief from that tiger. You can send that tiger back to where it came from and live in peace around food. So these are the 5 pieces of diet advice that are for the birds. Okay, let's see if I can bring these up again. Just moderate, eat less, exercise more. Thank you. Eat just 5 small meals a day. Okay. Distract yourself. And the last but not least, I think it was the 4th one, actually. The 4th one was having a cheat day. Okay. So, yeah, all that kind of advice. We appreciate the people who give it to us, but they're not really fully aware of what it's like to be us as emotional eaters. So we have to go deeper. We have to have the conversation about healing emotional eating at the deeper level. That's a conversation we need to have. And when we go there, when we stop trying to just slap on a platitude, slap on an easy seeming solution, for a problem that's very complex, has many layers, it's really important that we go deeper and start addressing the underlying causes of that compulsion and that habit of emotional eating. So that's what I'm here for. And it's totally yours for the taking. I want you to have that experience. But first, it starts with not going down that road, that dead end road of following advice that's for the birds. Please sidestep the trap. Just know people mean well, but they don't understand us. We got to hang out with our people, the people who understand what it's like to be powerless over a cookie. There's a solution for that. And let's take it to the Secret Sauce group and talk about it. Thank you so much. What's the advice you've gotten, and that you felt like was for the birds, that you might have blamed yourself for, but now, after hearing this, you might realize it just wasn't for you. It wasn't for you, and it's not your fault. Thanks so much. I'm so super happy to be here with you. I'll see you in the next show. Take care.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.